Hello, my name is Randy Rolfe, and I'm an independent consultant with Nikken, and this is one of our weekly live presentations by Nikken consultants. It's not an official Nikken corporate presentation, but rather us sharing our experiences with Nikken. And I'm going to start with sharing my screen for a short PowerPoint, and then I want to invite my special guest on to share her story, and I'll share mine as we go along. So let me get my slides up here. So can you all see that now? Okay, so, whoops. Nikken is all about discovering active wellness, and it was actually the first company in the world to focus on the term wellness. And when I was in Japan in 1998, I won a trip to Japan with Nikken. We saw little Nikken trucks going around with My Wellness, and now and all kinds of clinics and dental offices and everything else are calling themselves wellness, but Nikken actually got focused on this first. And it's the idea of we are entitled to be well. And Nikken has done everything that it could based on science to create products that allow us to restore and maintain our wellness. So we invite people to discover active wellness through Nikken. And from the very beginning, the philosophy was living a life in balance. And I love that because Asian philosophy is much more about balance. Western philosophy is kind of bigger is better, more, but Asian philosophy is about balance. And that certainly works best in the health arena. I discovered Nikken 19 and a half years ago, and I had already been very much into natural health. I'd been studying nutrition, and I was certified in 1980s. I started as an attorney, but I quit law to focus on my family, and so I taught myself all about health and natural living and nutrition. And I started a family counseling practice, and what I found was that in family life, the little decisions we make every day make all the difference for family health, good human communication, parent-child relationships, spousal relationships. It's the little decisions we make. Are we getting enough sleep? Are we eating a good breakfast? Are we smiling at each other? And I fell in love with Nikken's philosophy. Their motto is humans being more. It's about building humans from the ground up, literally, and I'll tell you about that in a moment. But it's about restoring us to nature's supportive, vital energies. And nutrition is all about eating, starting with live foods and cooking them minimally, but there's much more to health, which Nikken introduces us to. So those little decisions you make every day are your lifestyle decisions. The choices you make, the behaviors that manifest those choices, and those give you your results. If we don't make wise choices, those 20, 30, 100 choices we make every day, we succumb to stress. We become humans under stress. We don't reach our potential. So Nikken's all about humans being more. And the health environment of Nikken is actually worse than it was 20 years ago when I started. Stress is the #1 killer. It contributes to all the major things that kill us early: heart disease, diabetes, cancer, stroke, and all those things that reduce our quality of life: fatigue, allergies, depression, anxiety, sleep problems, and obesity, weight problems, digestive problems, and so on. They are all affected by stress because the body has a certain mechanism to deal with stress. If you're chased by a saber-toothed tiger, you're going to run up a tree. But now we have chronic stress, and if we don't do something about it, it acidifies our bodies, makes us more vulnerable to all these chronic problems. Let me just turn off my phone here. Yes. Sleep is a huge problem. We have sleep clinics all over the place, and their solutions are intervention with a CPAP machine or drugs. but that never gets you into the deep sleep where the body actually restores itself. 70% of Americans report sleep issues, and one poor night's sleep drops our immune system by 30 to 60% immediately. It's also much harder to remember things if you're not getting enough sleep, because memory is laid down during deep sleep. Air and water pollution is in the news every day. We now know that in most parts of the US, indoor pollution is worse than outdoor because we closed up our houses in the 70s to save on air and cooling costs, warming and cooling costs. And so we are concentrating all the chemicals, and there are thousands of chemicals we use and introduce into our houses now for cleaning, in the products we buy, the curtains, the carpets, the clothing, the bedding. They all have chemicals, and that gets concentrated by our closed-in environments. And the positive ions build up, and they are not positive for our health. We need the negative ions, like by a waterfall or by the ocean. 70 million premature deaths are attributed to air pollution, premature deaths, by the World Health Organization. And water, ever since Flint, Michigan, we know there's too much lead in most cities' tap water. In Pennsylvania, where I am right now, they just got an F for the quality of water that the schools are serving to their children. 12 different countries have, 12 different cities in Pennsylvania have high lead in their water. And we know that bottled water can be no better than tap. They take out the chlorine, so it tastes a little better, but there are thousands of chemicals being found in bottled water from agriculture, from medicine, and from other pollutants, including endocrine disruptors, which can cause havoc with our nervous systems and our hormones. And there are over 260 contaminants found in tap water, where we're trying to filter and cleanse the water. So the problems are very serious. It accumulates as a toxic burden. And the way we have our regulations, one chemical, we keep it below some certain level where it won't kill you, but when you have 200 chemicals, they all add up to reduce the strength of your immune system and to make your system toxic, the toxic burden on your body. And so the people who suffer the most are our children, which is completely unacceptable in the wealthiest top developed country in the world. Obesity rates are at 1/3. 1 out of every 5 adolescents is obese, and 1/3 of our children are overweight. We know it's because of inadequate consumption of essential nutrients and too much junk food, high caloric food with no nutrients. And earlier and earlier children are suffering from cardiovascular disease, cancer, type 2 diabetes, and obesity. And it's because this lifestyle meddles with their metabolism. And of course, their weakest link goes first, whether it's their cardiovascular, their immune system, their pancreatic system, or so on. Less than half of adolescents eat the needed amount of vegetables. 27% of high schoolers don't get the adequate physical activity recommended for them. And low-income families are, of course, far worse. They're often in food deserts. They have, obviously, even more stress and anxiety, depression, and less access to healthier foods and to medical supervision. So this is really unacceptable in this sophisticated society, very wealthy society, where we need more education and better distribution of wellness. What is the answer? Humans being more, each of us individually needs to be healthy by choice, not by chance. If we leave it up to chance, it's obviously not working. So we need to engage in active wellness, where we inform ourselves and make choices and change our behaviors based on what we learn. And what's so neat is that Nikken has made it easy. I discovered Nikken, I dropped out of legal practice, as I said, and started writing books. And I was helping Indians and farmers fight an ultra-high voltage transmission line that was going across their property in upstate New York. And that's when I learned about electromagnetic pollution, that the alternating current we're surrounding ourselves with and the wires going across our properties, and now the Wi-Fi towers and microwave exposures that we're experiencing now all distort the natural energy that all life has existed in from the beginning of the earth. So we are limiting our health by exposing ourselves to these energies. And so Nikken came into the picture with the idea of balance and total wellness. And the founder back in 1975 said that true health depends on 5 pillars of health: healthy mind, healthy body, healthy family, healthy society, and healthy finances. And the idea is that if any of these is truly out of balance, is not getting the support it needs, the others will start to suffer. As you can imagine, that if you have a bad attitude, you're surrounded by a lot of aggressive people, like sometimes in legal practice, that makes it harder on you to stay calm and peace of mind for your family, for your health. If your body is ailing, of course, your business and your family life is affected. If you're not doing things that you like doing, or you can't contribute to your society, you don't have the same positive attitude for your family and your health. And of course, if your finances are suffering, everything else gets compromised over time. So the idea of balance is critical in your overall picture. And I love that about Nikken. They look at the whole body, even though their products are focused mainly on mind-body health. So Nikken has a significant advantage in that it creates the right conditions to stay healthy, and we don't have to go back and live in the forest or on the beach, but we can be healthy. And Nikken started with, I'm sorry about some of these letters are off, I have to fix them, but we started with products that restored us to the natural earthing magnetic energy, that if you're walking in the park and the beach, you're exposed to the Earth's natural magnetic energy. And we are electric beings. The movement of electrons is what creates all the chemical activity in our body. And so when we're in unnatural fields, nothing works as well as it should. So when we're in the Earth's magnetic field, things get better. And Nikken's very first product was insoles for the shoes, just as if you're walking in the park all the time. And in the first 4 years, they became the fastest growing company in the history of Japan. And they still hold that record, actually, in Japan. The next product was a sleep futon, and what we call a mattress topper in the US, that restored you to that earth energy during the night when, as I said before, the body repairs itself. Then they came out with a wonderful line of nutrition, food-based, organic-based food supplements that again help us restore a balance of energy. Then they developed an amazing water system that does all the things that nature does to purify and energize water, including adding magnetics to it. And since then, they've developed an amazing air purifier and a wonderful full spectrum light. So all of those natural elements that we need around us to maintain our wellness are available from Nikken. So I'm going to very quickly review those products. We have basically 3 categories: nutrition and skincare, environment, and rest and relaxation. I think the core and what's most unique about Nikken is the rest and relaxation, the magnetic technologies, which they've now added several other technologies that are in all their magnetic products, and that is far infrared reflective ceramic that give you the warming energy of the sun that the body uses to modulate its own energy and help create an alkaline environment in the tissues, and also ionic energy. So all of those products put out the beneficial negative ions. So when you're walking on the insoles or sleeping on the bed or using that funny little pad in the picture on your back or your tummy or your chest, all three of those energies are helping your body to relax and maintain homeostasis. The environment, like I mentioned, the water does all the different things that nature does. Purifies the water, alkalizes it, magnetizes it, and energizes it. And it tastes fantastic. So if you have one of the waterfalls in your home, the children will drink water instead of sweetened sodas or even fruit juices. It's delicious. The air system, again, filters several different ways and produces the beneficial negative ions. The shower system does all the things that the waterfall does to create what we call Nikken Pi Mag water. But it also creates micro bubbles that help to moisturize and cleanse the skin. And the lamp is unique because it's LED. It does not flicker, and it also has extra blue, which helps us maintain our day-night cycle. The nutrition, as a nutritionist, I could talk about that for an hour, but the point is that Nikken's nutritional line is absolutely at the top of the field. On the video, you can see there's the Osteodens, which is for bone health. It's an all-natural supplement for bone health so that you actually can improve your numbers within 6 months. It's been documented and published, and no negative side effects, only positive side effects. We have the finest juice on the market. There's no added water or sweetener or colorings or preservatives or anything. It's just exotic juices that add up to great support for your core organs and high antioxidants. Our skincare is based on all natural ingredients or eco certified to be as close as to nature as you can get it. And we have a full line of nutritionals that are beautifully labeled so that it's easy to use. You don't have to be a nutritionist to know what to take. Nothing's megadosed. Everything's as organic as possible. And it covers all the major organs of your body. So I take everything Nikken makes. I'm 69 years old, and I feel better than I did at 49 when I started Nikken. And that's saying a lot because these are the 20 years when people start feeling older. But those of us who know Nikken, that doesn't have to happen. So I invite you to think about your 5 pillars, and we're going to now stop the share and introduce you to my special guest, Barbara Joseph. And she's from Maine, and wonderful lady who I met through Nikken. We have a lot in common because we're all about living close to nature and eating organic food and keeping our families as healthy as possible. So Barbara, thanks for joining me today. And can you tell us what first caught your attention about Nikken?
Well, hi there, Randy. It's a pleasure to be with you. You've done an excellent presentation. I always enjoy hearing your wisdom. Thank you. So yeah, Nikken caught my attention. I was in the healing arts as a practitioner and professional in private practice, and also recognized as a proprietary school. And my foundational practices were polarity therapy and Reiki and cranial sacral and breath work. And I wasn't looking for anything for many years. I was very engaged and excited about what I was doing, adding value to my own life and other people's lives. I've always adored nature. It's been a very important part of my life. I made my own sprouts. I lived back to the land without electricity for many years. And I actually was invited to come to an event with Nikken during that time from someone I didn't know. They had reached out to me as a pioneer in the community in energy and wellness. And I just, didn't know what Nikken was. And I said, no, I'm fully engaged with what I'm doing. Well, when you fast forward 15, 20 years, I was looking for something else as another source of income, as a way to have more time freedom and income, but still wanting to add value and benefit. So when I was again invited, I was like, I don't know what this is, and I want to go check it out. And I was immediately attracted to the people. When being a practitioner or a sole owner of a business, and suddenly having a network and a community of like-minded people who are all different, yet have this common purpose and mission, and then learning about the company that was right in alignment with my own values about nature and energy and bringing the body into harmony and balance so it can do what it knows how to do. I was very, very impressed. And then, of course, I had my very first product experience, which I had been living with a chronic discomfort for over 10 years from a bicycle injury. And having tried everything in the holistic field, because that's my modus of operation, I would get some relief, yet it would always reoccur. And I had just re-stimulated the injury by falling on the ice. So I was doing a little bit of work on my arm at this event, and someone handed me this Mag Duo. And I had to admit, inside I was like, how could my hands not be better than whatever this is? Well, I have to tell you, in 3 minutes, I was sold because I was relaxed and comforted and I felt fantastic. So I used it on my second injury. The same thing happened. And that got me engaged to want to know more about this company and these products. So from there, the sleep system improved the quality of my sleep. The water, I've had some major challenges with water, and to have this high quality alkaline drinking water that affects every part of my life. It just really was time to jump in, use the products myself, and start introducing them to my clients and my friends. Oh, I can't hear you. Are you on mute?
Yes, I muted myself. Sorry. So thank you, Barbara. That's a great story. And so can you tell more about your response to the sleep system? Because I think that's really the core of what we have to offer with Nikken.
I think you are right. The foundation of good health. So I was not sleeping well. I would wake up in the night, and I would have a very challenging time getting back to sleep and kind of that toss and turn and messy bed. Well, when I got the sleep technology, I might wake up once in the night, yet I went right back to sleep, and I would wake up in the morning, and I barely had to make my bed because there wasn't any movement. Yet what is so thrilling to me was I choose to use firewood as my main source of heat. And I acquired that in different ways and deal with it in different ways over the years. But there were 2 years in a row where I had 3 or 4 cords of firewood, and I hired someone to help me stack it. Now I put in my Mag Flex, which goes on the lower back to prevent injury to my low back. I always have my insoles on. I did have on some wraps for my wrists and my elbows, and of course a necklace. So I felt very prepared in terms of prevention. So this young man and I worked on firewood stacking. We took lunch. We did some more. At the end of the day, I didn't have any injuries, but I did feel kind of like a wet noodle and tired. So I went to bed in my sleep system, and I remember both times it was a Wednesday because Thursday morning I attended a business networking group, and I had to get up early and leave, which is the only morning I had to do that. And I was thinking, I am going to be really toast. Well, I woke up the next morning, and I had no residual effects, and I felt like a little chipmunk, all full of energy. So I think that's a real true testament to what being cocooned in the essential energies of the far infrared for that nice warming nourishment, the magnetics that, as you so beautifully stated, works with the electromagnetic field, and the negative ions really is a cocoon that allow my body to go into deep, restful sleep. And I know other people that I've shared with that have other chronic conditions, they just get so much relief. And they're always thanking me for introducing me to this system and other products. And it's just so genuine and so heartwarming to be able to make a difference like that.
Yes, I love that. I like to say that when I was practicing law, even when we won cases, nobody was hugging anybody. And they were like, oh, couldn't we have gotten a little more money? Or, this, was it really worth all the struggle? And Nikken makes it so easy to support the body
Oh,
the
you
way
broke.
that it knows best how to take care of itself if we give it what it needs. Your story about the stacking wood reminds me of one time we had a flood in our basement, which is where I was keeping my huge library at the time, and I moved my whole library Saturday and Sunday. My husband and son were away, and to save the books. And then on Wednesday, somebody said, well, Randy, what did you do this weekend? And I couldn't remember, because having slept on the sleep system, my body didn't hurt, and I'd moved my whole library. And all of a sudden I thought, oh yeah, I just moved my whole library. And so that restorative power of the sleep system is beyond compare. It's really amazing. So Barbara, we just have another minute or two. Can you address the issue of continuing health? Because it's so important that people know it's not, you don't have to actually be ailing or hurting to benefit from Nikken.
That's so great. I was just talking to someone who I recently met, and he was sharing with me some of his challenges. So here are some solutions. And then I was saying, I'm in really amazing good health right now, and I am 67. I've had 4 near-death experiences, some really major health challenges that were basically due to chemical environmental challenges. And I am thrilled that I can have this whole program, the Nikken Advantage, that you so eloquently just described to us. And they help me every day, every night, so that I can have more enhanced performance. I can live this active, wellness, healthy lifestyle where I do have more energy and better health than I did 20 years ago. And most everyone I know who is partnered with the Nikken as a colleague, a customer, has the same experience, because everything put together is creating a natural way for us to stay in vital wellness, enhanced performance, mental clarity. And it's so simple and easy to use. So I really recommend that people get informed about how this can help them no matter where they are in their health and wellness, because it's going to help everyone no matter where they are.
So true, so true. And just one last thought about young people. We're in our mature years, but there's no reason why young people shouldn't start now. I studied nutrition shortly after I was married, because I want to be married 100 years to my wonderful husband. And I thought, well, we might as well start with prevention. So what do you recommend for young people that are invited to look at this and they say, well, I don't have to worry about that yet, I'm only 22?
Yeah, well, you do want to look at it, because every day those daily choices, no matter how we live our life, are going to impact us. And we can't always control all those environmental things that are out there, but we can control it right in here, so that we have more stamina to be able to balance and harmonize and be more vital. And I actually do have quite a few young people that get it, and they're very excited and very interested in wanting to share it with their friends, because they can see what's happened with their parents and what's happening out there in the world, even though they don't feel it here. So I encourage young people to jump on board and start right now. And that's with the products, but it's also with our business, because when people start getting these results and are excited and can see how it helps other people, everybody can use extra money. And in this day and age, there's no job security. People are really being frayed at ends with how to make ends meet. And starting younger, you can just create a little bit of extra income and be building something for your future. So whether you're young, middle-aged, or elder, I think we have something for everyone in all of our categories. And plus, you get to collaborate with an amazing group of people and a company that is so passionate and mission-oriented and purpose-driven, and it's very exciting to be a part of that. And I think people are also looking for that, a way to make a difference in the world and have a cause.
Thank you, Barbara. So well put. I really appreciate you sharing today. And I'm just going to go back to my little slideshow again, because we've got a nice closing slide. Great. So think about that and wonderful things that Barbara has shared, and become a customer. Start somewhere. The insoles were the very first product. Get the sleep system as soon as you can. The water is a very popular place to start. We have an amazing meal replacement powder that many people are using just to start off their day with their brain clear and with their hormones and appetite balanced. So start somewhere as a customer. It's very easy. Get with the person who sent you to this video or invited you today, and just register. You buy online, you get your own page, just like you're on Amazon or something else. If you fall in love with it, like Barbara Joseph just said, you can become a part-time entrepreneur or even a full-time entrepreneur like many of us, because it's an amazing business, amazing group of collaborating partners, and Nikken is here to stay. 40-year-old company planning its next 100 years. So thank you for joining us, and thank you, Barbara Joseph, for sharing, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much, Randy.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay.
So
thank you.